happens, because I think ULEZ, OK, it was great that Rishi Sunak was able to say, look, we've had a win, this is fabulous. There were two very, very bad losses. And ULEZ, sure, that was, I would say, certainly, nobody really is disputing that, what kept it Conservative. But is it about people not liking green policies, or is it about the financial cost of them? Now, apparently, people like Lord Frost on the right of the party writing in the Telegraph saying, you know, this is proof that people want to drop this sort of green agenda. I'm not convinced that that's the case, but certainly there's pressure on the government to support people as we move to net zero, because it can be very expensive. So with the ULEZ, a lot of people that can't afford to buy a new car and can't afford £12.50 a day, you know, in the middle of a cost of living crisis. So it may be that they row back on the ban on selling new petrol and diesel cars by 2030. Let's see. But I'm not convinced that sort of being less green is necessarily a big
But it's
vote
part
winner.
of the issue with ULEZ, and look, I might be totally off on this, but it's not, you say people don't mind the environmental side of it. Maybe not, but people don't like the big brother side of it, do they? I mean, it just seems like we're being monitored and checked. And
Yes.
I drive through ULEZ zones, and you sort of think, well, I don't know if am I ULEZ compliant or not. I have no idea.
And also, of course, a lot of low-traffic neighbourhoods in London and elsewhere where they do seem to be trying to get people off the road. So I think, obviously, there's many millions of motorists, so there are potentially votes to be had there. But the Conservatives also looking at things like crime and migration to take a sort of harder, tougher line from the autumn to give themselves more of a dividing line with Labour. And, of course, Rishi Sunak did, having had some pretty awful weeks and the polls being really dreadful, have a few wins in the last week. I mean, Uxbridge, they clung on all right by less than 500 votes. But also, you know, the illegal migration bill has finally got through Parliament. There was the news about the new battery plant, and inflation is beginning to come down. So some green shoots. But, yeah, he's going to need to deliver on these 5 pledges, isn't he? And also, even if he does, there needs to be a more positive offering, doesn't there? Rather than just making things a bit less bad, making inflation a bit less bad, making waiting times a bit less bad. Where's the sort of positive offering?
Yeah.